Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be showing you the 3 different ways that you can put your rack into the garage. First things first, unload your bikes from the rack. The first method is what we call solo mode. Remove the locking hitch pin, loosen the anti-rattle system, and then give the rack a little shake to get it loose, and then put both hands on the bottom bar, head behind the top bar, and on the left of the center post. Pull the rack off from the car, and now you'll just back up to the garage bracket, move to the other side of the rack, and lift it onto the garage bracket. If you are not alone, you can have a friend grab the other side and pull the rack out of the car and take it straight to the garage bracket, making sure the tongue of the rack is facing away from the wall. Now you can load your bikes onto the rack and store them in your garage. To get back on the car, you will do these steps in reverse. Lift the rack off the garage bracket, carry it to the car, both hands on the bottom bar, head behind the top bar, and lift the rack into the hitch receiver. Lock the rack to the car and tighten the anti-rattle system. The second and easiest method is the rack roller mini accessory. Remove the safety pin, mount the rack roller mini, and now similar to the solo mode, you will lift the rack off the car using the same method, but now you can set the rack down right next to the car, get on the other side of the rack, and roll it over to your garage bracket. Back up to the garage bracket as close as you can, and then walk around to the other side and push the tire baskets up against the garage bracket, and then step on the footplate until your foot touches the ground. Line up the tire baskets with the garage hooks and release your foot from the footplate and put the rack on the garage bracket. Super easy, and now you can load your bikes onto the rack. To remove your rack with the rack roller mini, you're going to step on the footplate and push the rack away from the wall. Engage the spring on your lever, then you'll get on the other side of the rack and roll your rack towards the car, and tilt your rack back until it meets up with the hitch receiver, and then just push the rack up until it slides into your car. You'll lock your rack back up and tighten your anti-rattle system. The third and final method is called standard mode. You're going to remove your safety pin and then get on the other side of the rack, press the release lever, and pull the rack down with both hands into the loading position. You're going to put yourself in between the car and the rack and pull the damper pin. Pull the damper plate out until it rolls off to the front of the rack, and then replace your damper pin. From there, you'll go on the other side of the rack, press your release lever one more time, and lower the rack down to the ground. At this point, you can grab a friend, and both of you are going to grab the rack from the top and bottom crossbar. Lift the rack upright, and both of you together push the hitch to the opposite direction. At this point, you can take the rack and set it on the garage bracket. Now, storing your bikes on the rack should be very easy. Because it is in standard mode, the rack is lowered a little bit, so loading the bikes is going to be a little bit easier. To get the rack back onto the car, you and a friend are going to lift the rack off of the garage bracket and push the hitch receiver to the forward position, press your release lever one more time, and now the rack should be fully upright. You can then take the rack, both hands on the bottom bar, head behind the top bar, and slip the rack back into your car. You're going to have to re-engage the damper system. Pull the damper pin, take the damper plate and rotate it forward, and set it in between the 2 grommets and replace your damper pin. Once that's done, you can replace your safety pin, and you can lock the rack to the car and tighten your anti-rattle system, and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching. If you need other tips or have questions, shoot us an email and we'll be happy to help. VelociRAX.